Testing, testing, testing. Is this thing on? Man, I'm still alive, guys. I'm still around. I'm still here. I hope you guys are all doing well. It has definitely been a while since I've last streamed. I've been taking care of business in the real world, as they say, handling things. More really, my kids started homeschool again, and so the season was upon me, and I need to set things together. What's up, Cal? What's up, Cal? Hope you're doing well. Today, guys, I wanted to actually first of all, hold. First off, is the music too loud? Is it good? Is it okay? I can turn it up or down. It's whatever. You guys just let me know. Um, I really wanted to talk to you guys today about realistically things that people need to keep in mind, like within Bitcoin and crypto, specifically Bitcoin. With the current price action, with the current markets being what they are. Um, I've been really, really quiet. Hopefully, a lot of people have watched the previous shows, the previous streams, and kind of caught wind on where I am with my positions on things. But since it's been a long time, I wanted to kind of quickly remind people that do catch the shows, that might catch it going forward, on where that actually is for myself and for I think a lot of other people as well, so that people are a little bit more educated. This is only, an opinionated channel. I'm not trying to educate people in any kind of financial way to where it's financial advice, but I am trying to give you guys food for thought so that you guys can use it to digest and take it in as nourishment in your investing, trading, or whatever career that you have going on, right? Um, Liquidity is Alliance on Terra. Nice. We can maybe talk about that, but I did want to talk to you guys first and foremost about the overall markets and what that structure looks like, and where we are in the greater scheme of things, right? We'll talk about that on a really zoomed out, kind of quick view. We won't spend too much time there. We'll just kind of take a really good overall look at things and touch base, and then we'll kind of dive into specifically the Bitcoin chart so that people can get a realistic idea of where we are, and so that hopefully they don't get caught with their pants down going forward. But with that, guys, don't forget, do me a huge favor. It's been a long time, like I said. It would really, really help out if you guys smash that like. If you're on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, if you guys just give it a thumbs up, reshare it, retweet it, whatever it is. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, if you guys would smash the subscribe, smash that like button, help get it out to more people. Hopefully, more people will see it and it'll be beneficial to them. You should feel like a good person when you guys do helpful things. It doesn't cost you anything. I know I feel really, really good when you guys do that. So again, help a brother out. With that being said, let's go ahead and share the charts. Let's go ahead and share the charts and jump straight on into it. Straight on into it. Let me share my screen here. We're going to jump on in to the Dow Jones first and foremost, and we're going to take a look at things using the monthly. I like using higher time frames because, again, I am more of an investor. So I look at things on the monthly, the weekly, and daily. I very rarely, unless I'm trying to fight for a position, will I go into the lower time frames. Usually when I do, it's like the 4 hour. It's like the 4 hour and maybe sometimes like the 1 hour if I'm really, really interested. But in any case, I am using Market Cipher as my favorite oscillator and indicator tool of choice. Excuse me. With that being said, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to shout them out as I'm rambling about, and I'll try to answer them. But again, we're looking at the Dow Jones, or the DJI. That's the ticker. It's down today, 0.66%. Overall, though, like, again, we're on the monthly. Take a look at this, guys. Let me reset the chart for you. This has been nothing but up and to the right. For a long, long time, right? We haven't had our ebbs and flows, but when you take a look at the life of this chart, and again, we're on the monthly, so we're taking a very zoomed out look at the overall length and life of this chart, which is the Dow Jones, the traditional stock market. This is going all the way back to 1896, excuse me, the life of when we were tracking this, right? You can see that this has definitely been just an up and to the right. So again, the reason why I'm bringing this up is in the traditional markets, especially for the main three, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the S&P, right? If you had a long enough time horizon and you weren't in like really shitty positions in the markets, you in general probably did really, really well, and you will probably do really, really well if you're banking on averages, right? Like that's all we can do as investors and or traders is go by statistics and averages or math and probabilities on things happening using those statistics, averages, and math. And again, it just using a really quick, easy way to explain this. This has been up and to the right. If you had a long enough time horizon, you're doing probably fairly well. So yeah, we're having a little bit of a down day, but all in all, the markets are on the monthly time frame at their all-time highs. What's up, Jay? It's been a long time, man. Long time. I'm glad you're still here. All in all, if you're looking at it, the monthly, we're still having one of the best months. I know we just started it. It's only the 5th of this month, but yeah, we're in pretty much the all-time high territories for the Dow Jones. So again, zoom out when in doubt and take a look at that and stop being cut up with everybody's emotional posts on smaller time frames, right? Like a lot of people will tell you, oh, we're down 0.68%, blah, 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 blah. Look, all in all, if you've been in at any time in the past, you're probably doing fairly well if you're in the Dow Jones index, right? I don't know specifically where you are in your investments, but if you have a good brokerage, or if you use brokerage and manages your stuff, or maybe you do it yourself, you should be realistically in a pretty good position. Going into the NASDAQ, again, we're taking a look at things on the monthly. Same thing. We've had better months just prior, right? And these candles, we do have to let it play out. They have smashed out the past 2 months. Right now, again, we're still early into this month for the NASDAQ. But all in all, we're doing pretty well. Like, livelihood, the life of the charts here. This is the entirety of the NASDAQ. You can see that we're basically in all-time high territories. So take that for what it is. We do have room, and if it does capitulate, we do break down. Look for the 50 SMA on the monthly time frame. That's right around 14.4, but basically let's just say 14.5. And then, of course, which I don't even know if you guys are going to get that, but this is a 200 SMA right here, this boulder line on the monthly time frame for the NASDAQ. Guys, let's just put it this way. Not financial advice, but if you get the opportunity to invest into the NASDAQ and price capitulates on the monthly time frame all the way down to the 200 SMA, just take a look at this here. You are getting, I don't know about generational opportunities, but you're getting very rare opportunities to get in to what statistically and probably will be going forward a good opportunity whenever it comes down to the 200 SMA. That time here, right, way back in, God knows, like it feels like so long. I'm old enough to know that some of you guys probably weren't even born, but 2002, right, we came down here on the NASDAQ, we touched the 200 SMA, and then when we cut down below it here, 2008, you all know, well, again, some of you guys might be too young, but I'm old enough to know it. When the 2008 stock market crashed, or the housing market crashed here, we dipped down below the 200 SMA on the monthly time frame for the NASDAQ, and it was a great opportunity. Both times, again, you saw tremendous returns. Let's say just the candle wick lows, not even the wick lows, but just the candles. You can see, look at that return to where we are right now. That's 1,600% returns. Like that's pretty awesome for the NASDAQ. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm not giving you guys financial advice. I'm just telling you guys probabilities, right? Going back to the Dow Jones, though, kind of go over the same thing. Anytime it's come down to the 200 SMA, you were given a really sweet opportunity to invest and get into some positions. So again, take a look at 50, take a look at 200 SMA, have a zoomed out approach when you take a look at things, and you should be good to go in the traditional markets. S&P, same thing here. You're taking a look at, like, we're at a pretty good position when you take a look at the life of the charts here. We are down 0.41% for the S&P 500. But all in all, guys, again, I'm just kind of sitting. I've gotten some really great positions here in the past on the 50, and I'm not in any hurry to kind of reallocate that position unless I have to reinforce it with my 4x4 DCA strategy down here at the 200 SMA. If that happens, right? If that happens, I'll be biting at the bits to try to get in on those positions. I'm not going to run scared at all, because averages and probabilities and statistics show me that whenever we come down to the 200 SMA, that's a good time to start laddering in with the DCA strategy, right? So just something to take a look at, guys. I know a lot of people have their thought processes and their opinions that are thrown out there within their channels or within their circles that they run. But I'm just showing you guys the zoomed out, realistic price movements that has historically has happened, and just leaving it as it lies. With that being said, the reason why I want to show you to you guys is that liquidity in these markets is the same liquidities that's in the crypto markets, and they are correlated. Anybody that tells you that it's not correlated is absolutely ridiculously lying to themselves and everybody else. It's all correlated. The same money that's out there is the same money that's out there. It doesn't matter who it is, right? Especially now that we have these ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let's go ahead and move on into the crypto markets, and let's talk about that. We can see actually right now, before we do as well, you can see that the precious metals Precious metals are looking really, really good. Gold is up 0.81%, basically all-time highs, like basically going to all-time highs. Platinum, not all-time highs. Platinum has a lot of run to have. I don't really particularly care for platinum all too much, but like if I was looking at it, like you could say that it actually has more upside than gold. Obviously, right? You're buying all-time highs with gold, platinum. You could possibly get some better returns. I'm not saying that you will though. I'm more of a fan of silver because I've seen it go up twice before, and I just like silver a lot better than gold. I think the utility of silver is a lot better, but you can see silver is up 1.87%. I think when the manipulation, and there's huge manipulation with precious metals, but particularly in silver, finally catches up with the demand, physical demand, in comparison to paper traded silver. I think we're going to see that skyrocket back up to that $50 range, like it did in the past year. You can see kind of like a cup and handle pattern playing out here for silver ish. Like I maybe might be reaching here, but you can kind of see that big cup here, handle-ish playing out here, and so that they'd be really awesome to see kind of play out. We did have a wedge pattern play out here, and if you guys don't know, the way that you go into wedge patterns usually have 5 touches. The way that you enter into a wedge pattern is usually the way that you exit a wedge pattern. So you can kind of say that we entered in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was the move out. I'm kind of fishing there, but like you can kind of maybe make that argument that that's what happened here. And you can see that we did actually break out of that wedge pattern because we're out of it here. Now we got to see if it holds up. It probably will come back down, test it as support, and let's see if it bounces and comes up. It starts doing a new pattern. Time will tell, right? Copper is doing really, really well. You guys know I love copper. Copper is like one of my most favorite things in the whole wide world. Hard to hold physically because of the quantity that you need, but you can see that this is one of the most bullish and great looking precious metal charts ever, long term. You need copper with anything and anywhere, and no matter who you are, you can't deny copper. It's used in any energy transfer, right? PAS, I love PAS, Pan American Silver. It's my way into microchips and semiconductors as well as precious metals. It's up right now 1.77%. Again, I was shouting on the rooftops to get in at certain points. I was able to get in much lower back here at like $6-7, but I did reinforce myself right around the $10 and that $14 range as well. So really happy with that. Let's move on. Crypto. Total market cap. Again, we're on the monthly time frame, right? Total market cap right now. Look at this. We're in this wedge of a pattern now. I went from wick highs to average average wick lows here as well. And you can see that we're still within this pattern. Let's go on the lower time frames, the weekly time frames here, and kind of reset the charts for you guys. You can see that we're still vibing here. We're coming up on the weekly time frame for the total market cap of crypto to the 50 SMA, which is right around 1.9 trillion. Like that would be really, really great if we can recapture. It's going to be hard to recapture 2 trillion, but right now we're just trying to fight to stay above that 1.9 trillion. And I think that's the more important thing when we're talking about the overall market cap of crypto. We need to stay above to stay in a kind of normalish range that we've been in, that 1.9. Now, of course, we could fall below the 50 SMA on the weekly time frame for the total market cap, which again is right around that 1.91 range. You can see that we did wick low already here. We did wick low right now. It did hold up, but we got to give it time to play out. Right? If it doesn't, we are going to move. We will. I'm telling you guys right now, we will move below the 50 SMA, and we will move to this wedge. This support low, the bottom of the wedge here, which is 1.79, which is another 0.10 on the total market cap. Again, that's a lot of money. It doesn't sound like it, but that's a lot of money coming out of the total market cap. Capitulation will probably take over, and we will probably, if we come back down here and touch this, we have a good chance of Bitcoin going down to 40K. I'm going to get into this where I'm pointing out here. We have a good chance of emotions taking us down there and really testing that out. With that being said, let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin, because this is the thing that I really wanted to talk to you guys about. I see 61 people watching the show. Do me a favor again, guys. Like the video. Hit that subscribe. I'm going to talk to you guys about the most important thing today, and then we're going to keep it short and sweet, and that's the Bitcoin chart. I want to show you guys realistically where we can go. Sorry about that. I had to cough for a second. All right. We're going to go to the monthly time frame for Bitcoin. There's a lot of doodling here, so forgive me. And actually, let me do me and you guys a favor. Let me turn on this music just a little bit so you guys can hear this. All right. So as you can see, these vertical lines here, right? These are the Bitcoin halvings. A lot of you guys are accustomed to this. You guys know. Excuse me. We just recently had a Bitcoin halving, and what I've been doing with this is I've manually tracked averages, because that's all we can do as investors and our traders is go by averages, probabilities, and statistics on what's happened in the past, and look for patterns and come to a conclusion on what actually might be happening going forward based on what's happened in the past, because humans are creatures of habit, and we will probably follow the same thing given the opportunity. So let me go ahead and show you guys what a bunch of this doodling means. You can see here that I've tracked using this right here, the overall time we've spent in a cycle. This is the cycle going back from 2011 after the halving, all the way to the next halving of 2016, right? So we spent 973 days going through the three phases of the, what's up, Kyle? Going through the three phases of the Bitcoin cycle, right? And we have an appreciation or bull phase. We have a depreciation, which is the bear market, and then we have the anticipation of the next halving, which could be the crab market or whatever you want to call it, right? So that's really the three phases that we've gone through thus far until we set a new standard or a new normal per se. So we spent 973 days in this cycle. We spent 882 days between the 16 halving and the 2020 halving. You can see again, we went to about 549 days of a bull market. We went through this phase here of our downturn, which is the bear market. And then our anticipation phase leading up into the next halving here in 2020, right? We spent X amount of days there. I didn't really worry about showing you guys the bear and the anticipation phase. I really want to show you guys the phase that we're in right now. So I just calculated how long we stayed on average. It's not like exact, but on average, where we stayed in the bull market or right after the halving, right? Our supposed bullish moments. Again, we spent another 549 days, which was really weird. 549 days after the 2020 halving here in this bull run here, which was a phenomenal last hurrah, in my humble opinion. I don't think that we're ever going to get these kind of huge bangs like we saw before, huge pops like we saw before with Bitcoin's price action. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's actually showing us it right now. Now, one of the things that I want to share with you guys while we look at these lengths that we've spent in the bull market, right, is how much they've actually been cut down, or how much they've lost lengths, like how much we're actually getting diminishing returns as we mature as a market, right? 761 days in this bull run, 549 here. So I don't have it up here. Actually, let me get my phone. Let me get my phone here. I should know this quick math, but I'm talking too much and I'm not that smart. So I'm just going to use my calculator so I don't get it wrong. 761 minus 549. 212 days is what we took off of the last time we had a decent rally, right? Back here, 2011, after the halving, 761 days. So we took off from the last time this happened here during this section and this section, 212 days. Well, we got to take things into averages, right? We got to take things into averages. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add up the lengths of all three of those halvings, the times right after the halvings, right? And we're going to divide that by 3 because that's how you get averages. So there plus 549 plus 549 equals 1,859. And we're going to divide that by 3. So on average, we should expect, right? We should be prepared for about 619 days that we could potentially spend within an uptrend or after the halving in this bull phase, right? Now, if we're going by averages, 619 days, let me kind of show you guys here from the halving here. What is it? 619 days would be, look at this. Somewhere around here, let's just say 609. This would be in late December 2025, right? Now, since again, we have to also account for the cut that we're usually seeing and that we have seen once before. It stayed the same before. Let's take that 619 and let's minus about 200 days. We don't have to be exact. Let's just minus 200 days. So let's just say it's 400. Let's just say it's 400 days that we could realistically expect attention, because that's all it is, right? Attention to stay with Bitcoin before it falters and before people start being bored and look for better returns elsewhere. 400 days would put us right around, this is 395, May 2025. So let's actually just mark this here. Let's actually, you know what? I'm just going to mark this here with another vertical line right there. Oops. Did that move? Yeah, it's May. This May, right? So let's just say we can potentially count on, even if we go through the barest of the bear, we can count on people's attention and interest still being with Bitcoin until right around May 2025, unless something changes fundamentally. Like maybe we get, the elections are happening. Maybe we get a presidential cabinet or maybe we get a president and this cabinet that's favorable to the crypto markets, or maybe we don't, right? Or maybe some kind of regulations or something happens that changed for the good, or maybe it doesn't. There's all these variables, right? But let's just say if things stay the same, we can count on people's interest sticking with us until right around May 2025. Now, from where we are right now to May 2025, that's not very long. That gives us 242 days to turn this boat around. Realistically, we need to turn this boat around, or else we risk, let me show you guys here, we risk the long-term support that we've had. See this line right here? This long-term support line faltering and not holding up for us, right? Look at this price action for Bitcoin that's happening right now. I'm going to project this out for you guys a little bit here, going past our anticipated interest phase that we could keep for the crypto market, for Bitcoin in general, right? Because if Bitcoin doesn't keep interest, good luck keeping the rest of the crypto market in an interesting fashion for the rest of the world, right? Like we have to maintain Bitcoin. That's the most important thing. Not to sound like a Bitcoin maxi, but we have to. So look, let's take a look at this here. Okay, I'm pointing out this section right here. One, because it's the long-term support that we've had for Bitcoin since 2016. After the halving, we had one touch. We scoot. You can say this was a test here because we had a long wick down here, right? 2020, y'all know what that was. We had it here, 2022, held up. You can say it held up here as well. Again, we're on the monthly time frame, right? If we do not hold up the price point of 40 to 42,000, let's just say an average 41, right? Because that's the in between. We're gonna break that support line that's been treating us as support for such a long time that I guarantee you it's going to be a psychological matter for a lot of people. People are going to say, oh shit, if that didn't hold up, I need to sell because I got in at any point. Anybody that got in back here at any point still in profits, I need to sell before I'm not in profits. If you're smart, that's what you would do, right? Not telling you financial advice, not telling you to sell your Bitcoin, but that's what most people would do. Like, I need to sell. I don't want to sell for a loss. I need to get out. This is like the line in the sand. The line in the sand is right here. Now, I'm not just saying that because we have a support line here. I'm saying it because of averages. I'm saying it because of interest averages, days spent in the appreciation phase. I dare not say bull market anymore, but appreciation phase, which should hold up as appreciation, right? But you can see right here, we double tapped. I would actually say we triple tapped. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. Have you guys experienced a triple top before? Excuse me for a second. My son's here. I'm almost done, son. Let me speak to the people. I'm trying to educate them.
Peace, people.
All right. So you can say that we triple topped here. The minute we did a breakthrough here and we started reversing the trend, that's when a lot of people said, because now the probability statistically of us coming back down and replaying what we've done in the past, like, okay, even if we did here, even if we go by averages, right? From the top here to the low here was 56%, right? Now, let's go from this top here down to here. That's 78%. let's just say we cut it in half. I'm not even going to do proper math. I don't even want to do quick math. Let's just say on a dummy's math, right? Let's just say again, we could probably see something in between that because the last time we faltered from the all-time highs here, we went down 50% and then 78%. Let's just say it's going to be 55%. We'll meet it in the middle, right? 55% before we catch any kind of bid or interest on people buying again, right? Well, okay, so from the top here, 50, 54, right there. That's it right there, just below our structure right here. We need this zone of 32 and stuff to hold up long term. And if it doesn't, look, if we get an average of this, hopefully we don't, and we break through this, I guarantee you people's emotions will get the better of them. Emotions are a very powerful thing, guys. When people feel like they're losers, they'll cut their losses. Hopefully they do, so they're not more of a loser. So the thing I wanted to kind of like show you guys is just these averages, okay? I don't know. I'm just as a long-term investor, I'm looking at only a few places. One, the most important thing is here as support. We got to hold 41. We got to hold 40, 41. I'm not going to be nitpicky at that 40, 41, whatever, right? We got to hold this support line. We got to. If not, guys, we can go down to those averages like we've seen before. Maybe it's 55%. I don't know. I did quick math, whatever, right? It was about 50 something and 70, like high 70s for the next downturn we had when we topped here. We're repeating it again. We're repeating it again. So again, guys, just be careful, be realistic on your holdings, right? Bitcoin today is down 3.51%. Look at the inflows right here for the stock Bitcoin ETFs. You can see all of them down 3.79 to high, almost 4% on most of these, right? You can see it. Now, this might be totally off, and it might skyrocket. Something crazy might happen again out there fundamentally in the global markets. Maybe another market, maybe Russia, China, Africa. You can't really say Africa because they're all independently ran and stuff like that. They kind of like got their own states or whatever you call them. But like maybe a country, nation, whatever, sovereign wealth funds, family offices, whatever, something like maybe a big corporation steps in and says, no, you know what? We're going to put our 2% into Bitcoin because we think it's a strategic move and it's not going to hurt us or whatever. It might change the game. But what I want you guys to do is give yourself a realistic look at what's happening out there, what has happened with the crypto markets in the past. Now, this is the daily time frame for Bitcoin, right? Look here. We're in the downtrend right now. If we break structure right here, going back from May, this is basically our average. Look, it doesn't take a rocket science. You don't have to get into these rhymes, reasons with everything, right? This is basically the average where we are right here for the lows. If we break this structure here, I guarantee you we come back and test the supports again, right? In the past that we had. Look at this. And we could draw this line straight back to over here. Look at this. This gets important right here. It's this section where it starts getting important. On average was support. Yeah, we went through it, but on average, right? Average support before it wasn't. So again, this is a critical place for Bitcoin's price action. We realistically can freaking go there. We realistically can go there. And everybody that's telling you that that's not the case is full of shit. I'm sorry, YouTube, I didn't mean to swear. I did mean to swear. But, whatever. I can't be perfect. Does anybody have any questions? That's really what I want to share with you guys. And just think about this too. If this happens to Bitcoin, what do you think is going to happen for all your alts? For all these people calling for altcoin season and alt season and all this other stuff. Money is going to go, liquidity is going to go where it's best protected or where it's the thickest. The thickest liquidity is by far in Bitcoin in the crypto market. By far. Next is Ethereum, obviously, and then probably Solana, right? We can go take a look at crypto market cap, whatever, or CoinGecko, and you guys can figure that out. But I promise you, liquidity will run away from all these other layer ones, layer twos, layer threes, whatever, and rush back into the safest of safe places, the thickest place it could possibly find itself until things look better. And or if not, it will just run out of the markets completely. right? And go back into traditional markets or precious metals, or maybe they'll just hide it under their bed or something like that. I don't necessarily think that's smart, but you guys get what I'm saying? Does anybody kind of follow along or need to see that again for Bitcoin's chart? Again, let me share it with you guys for if you guys are missing this late, right? 41K support is really, really important. We basically, for the life of Bitcoin's chart, we had two really important trend lines of support, right? You see it right here. Boom, being one, all the way up to two halvings. It's kind of funny how it always happens that way. We had two halvings, boom, two here, right? 2016. And then from 2016, we set another one that has ran and is holding up to this day for now. If it doesn't hold up, guys, we are going to start setting a different trend. And you can easily say, like, look at this in another way as well, right? You can easily say that the structure, sorry for that, I don't know what that is or why it comes on this. You can say that the structure of up and to the right with ebbs and flows is going to get broken down, and we're going to start seeing the sideways crab market or a real true long-term downturn when you're looking on the monthly timeframes for Bitcoin's price action, right? That's realistically, because if we break, look, this is the important thing right here. Look, you see this high here, and here? If we break previous all-time highs and support here with this price action here, that's a new we're going into a new phase that we've never experienced before. And then everybody else is going to have to adjust their opinions and their strategies and their thought processes about everything when it comes to Bitcoin, to be honest with you, so it can fit the rhyme or reason. But that's all I got. I just wanted to share with you guys, realistically, where support needs to hold up, the length of time that we have left, that we're currently in, and where we stand. We got to know where we are, where we've come from, to get a good understanding of where we might possibly be going, right? We got to understand our environment as it is right now, and we got to understand where we came from to get to that environment as it stands right now. And that's why these days in the appreciation phase or bull markets were important. 761, 549 for both of these here. On average, it was 619, right? We, on average, we cut 200 from them. So again, we only have until about May 2025 to see this through, to turn this boat around. We really do. Or else, price action, as you can see, going sideways, even if it does just go sideways here, even if 41 holds up and we just go sideways here, this happens. Well, guess what happens? This support line gets taken out. It's no longer valid. We look at it in the past now. It's no longer valid for us to use going forward. We have to find other things. And it's going to be a lot of other things that I don't have time to get into right now. I think if it does go sideways, which I wouldn't really mind. I think there's actually a bull case for Bitcoin if it goes sideways like this long term. It doesn't have to appreciate in this bullish ways that it's done in the past, where it skyrockets and gives us these humongous X returns and stuff like that. And by the way, I'll tell you guys right now, if by whatever weird chance it does happen, where we get a move to the upside, a tremendous move to the upside, we're only going to 123%, which is right around 143. Like tops, 143 tops Bitcoin. I'm telling you guys right now, anybody that tells you guys any differently is not using averages, statistics, and math, because these price movements to the upside have given us diminishing returns every single time that we've had these blast off. Look. I'll just show it to you guys. From the low here to the high here, that was 42,710, right? Remember that, 42,000. From the low here to the high here, 2,990. That's a huge difference. And it's quite simple concept. As you grow in liquidity, it takes more liquidity to grow. You need more sustenance. You need more nourishment. You need more capital to move that dollar sign for that asset up even higher. That's why gold moves like a snail, right? As you grow and mature, it takes a lot more. Back here, you saw those tremendous moves because it didn't take much to go from under $1 trillion to $1 trillion, right? Like, it sounds like a lot of money, but it really didn't take that much. And then the same thing, to go from 1 to 1.5, another thing. Then to go to 1.5 to 2 is another thing. From going from 2 to 2.5, again, you guys know what I'm saying. It just gets harder and harder and harder. So 123% on the charts for Bitcoin's price action for this 143. If you get that, you better consider, unless you're a lifer and just want Bitcoin to pass on to your children, you better consider taking profits or at least making your money back at least, and then holding the rest as free and clear stuff, right? Not financial advice, just telling you guys something. But we got until May 2025, my friends. So I hope this helps, guys. I've been really missing streaming. I'm not gonna lie, I've been really missing streaming and giving you guys my thought process about certain assets. I will be doing this more often. So if you guys liked the food for thought, the rant per se, do me a huge favor, follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. My son's just sitting there just waiting. But that's all I got, guys. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Don't get wrecked. Do it now. You're gonna. Is that a rubber band? Are you threatening him with the rubber band?
Yeah.
Shoot it. He got stuck on his finger. Pay for his medical bills.